my first episode of Thoughts and Rhythm, my first live. I've never really been on live. I don't know. I just never really felt the urge or drawn to live. But now that I think about it, this entire time, I've been making content for such a long time, and outside of those 30 seconds to a minute of videos that y'all get to see, it's so much space full of just me conversating with myself like this, but it's just no camera, because I find it hard to really like just fully express myself in words when the camera comes on. It's like my throat chakra was kind of like just tying up and shut down, and that's why I was having difficulty with just sharing myself more and more. But I have, as far as self-development in all areas, mentally, physical, spiritual, emotional, and physical, and it just had led me to where I am right now in the space. Like I would never seen myself going live before. And last night, this new creation came to my mind of how I wanted to do things, how I was gonna share it. I wasn't even gonna get equipment at first. I was gonna get equipment and be like, I'm gonna set it up this way and I'm gonna do it this way. But Source had brought me here today. And it's like, nope. There's no waiting this right now. And I've been reading Outwitting the Devil, and I've been reading Think and Grow Rich, which reading just one chapter, the first chapter of Think and Grow Rich, I've learned to not give myself no cushion to fail. You see, when people say they want something, but then they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this, but then they make cushion, as in they make exit routes for themselves for the what if, or just in case I don't make it there. Which, if you have that mindset where you need a cushion, you've already failed, right? And that's just something that I have been learning. So me being live right now, that's kind of my do or die. Like, I can't go back. I'm live. Like, it's too late. So because I was trying to upload a short recently, like 10 seconds ago, but the universe will not allow me to, because it's like, that's not what we want from you today. We want a little more. We're asking a little more of you today. We want you to share your mind in a different aspect. And I just came from church, I must say, and someone else's when God touched someone else, it called someone up to the stage and went to the front of the church, and he was talking about his throat chakra, about his voice, right? And as soon as he mentioned the word voice, my throat started to tighten up. You know, when you want to cry, that knot that you get, I had got that knot in my throat. And I realized that I'm not here only, like, God's not only talking to him, but he's also talking to me. God's also telling me that my throat chakra is no longer clogged. God is saying your voice is no longer like you're not in a position to just shut up anymore, right? Sharing videos here, cool, but now we need you to do a little more. Give us a little more. Give the world a little more. Share your thoughts as they come, because oftentimes I'm outside just talking, right? My daily day, I'm talking, I'm sharing stuff to the universe, because there's no one around, there's no camera, nothing. It's just me, right? And my thoughts flowing, and I catch myself like, oh, that was a bar. Like, dang, where's the camera when I need it? And I feel like most of my enlightening moments come when there's no camera around, because I just ramble and I discover more and more about myself, and that's just how I function. And I understand, and understand that I am no longer in a position to keep nothing back. This week had taught me so much, from the books I've been reading, from the work I've been doing, internally, all of for my self-growth and development. And one thing I noticed that I never not think about others as like, I want others to know this too. Like I'm learning this information for me, but I'm also learning it so that I can share it, so that someone else can also know it. Because if it's benefiting me, I know it can benefit someone else for sure. And when I once thought about having like a podcast, right? But it's like, what would I even talk about? It's like, I'm not even in my TikTok, like I'm not a niche person. I'm not someone who can just be attached to one thing, because I'm very expansive. I am profound. I am very creative. And when you have someone as creative as I am, it's hard to keep me in one spot, because I see creation in everything. Everywhere I go, everywhere I look, I can create something from it, from a sense, from a thought. And this came to me of thoughts and rhythm, because I've been talking about the hypnotic rhythm for a while. And it just aligns perfectly with the idea. Although I thought about a podcast literally years ago, maybe like 2-3 years ago, but I've never took an initiative of it, because I always felt like it had to be structured in one specific way. You had to look and feel and be this and that, because that's how others have set theirs up. But in reality, mine's and theirs will never be the same, even if I follow their exact structure, because we're two different people. We have different minds, different thoughts, so we create different things. And I've never came across a podcast that is live. And I just came up with this like last night. Well, actually, not last night I came up with the name of my podcast, but today, literally, like I came here to make a short. And here I am making my first episode of my podcast, which is crazy. When you allow your mind to flow and connect truly with source, with all of its energy, you come to find that it's things that you cannot always explain or put into words. You simply have to show people. People always say seeing is believing. Well, here I am, and this is only the beginning. Background about me a little bit. I'm just gonna get not personal, but we are going to open up a slightly. I'm from Puerto Rico, and I've come from a family where no one has ever truly seen success. Not financial, not physical, not mental. People always, it's like a rat race. Everyone thinks for themselves. Everyone wants to be like someone else. And, my mom always did her best. She still do to this day, which I appreciate her for it. But like I said, no one has really found themselves to a point where they could consider their life to be a success. But I'm here to say that I'm the curse breaker. Like, people call that a curse breaker. But because I see myself outside of them, not different because of what I have, but different because of the way I think. The things that I do that pulls me away and sets me apart from everyone else. I always tell people that thoughts are things, not just things. Thoughts are powerful things. And like I made a short yesterday that said creations begins with a thought, with an idea, with a download. Without thoughts, nothing would exist. So mind what you think about. 19 Keys 1 says, what you do frequently becomes your frequency. What you think about often, you begin to speak about often, and then you're going to act based off those thoughts, those impulses. If you do not want a life of suffering, if you do not want negative relationships, if you do not desire poverty, confusion, then stop thinking and acting in terms of those. Stop focusing so much on what's happening here in the present, like your surrounding, what the next person, what your job, what this person is doing, saying, thinking about you, and focus more on what you want for yourself. Think about what you want for yourself. Not just now, not tomorrow, but for your entire life. What do you truly desire? And fixate your mind on those things. Talk about those things. You don't have to talk about it with no one. You can literally just sit in a park like I'm doing right now and just talk to God about it. Talk to the entire universe. Tell the trees, tell the ants, tell the bees, tell the flowers, tell them what you want. And notice how that makes you feel. Notice you're changing character. And if that's a place, a position, a frequency that you truly feel that it feels good to even think and speak about, then that's the place you need to be at. No matter what's happening around you. See, I've mastered to control my thoughts because I realize how important and powerful they really are. It's literally rare. Like when I tell you, maybe two times a day I get like a negative thoughts out of the entire 24 hours in a day. 2 in 24 hours. 2 bad thoughts and a million billion good ones, because they're literally amount to nothing. If you can choose what you want to think about, then you can create the life that you want for yourself. Life is not as complex as we make it. It starts with you wanting a change for yourself. And after that, know what you want. Be definite, find definition of purpose. What do you want to accomplish? Make a plan and stick to it. And do not stop until you get it. Do not limit yourself to what you can be because of what someone else is saying about you or because of how someone else feels about you. This life is not theirs, it's yours. And that's what we have to understand. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, you are existing in your own body. You can only control yourself. Not your spouse, not your friends, not your kids. Because even if you tell a kid what to do, a kid, you can be like, get off that table. What the kid gonna do? He's on that table. Hey, don't go in there. Don't touch that. They're touching that. You can't control a child. You can't control anything but yourself. You can try to direct and guide people to do things, but at the end of the day, you can only force and control yourself. So if you cannot master your own emotions and thoughts, what makes you think you can control anything else? If you cannot control your emotion, your anger, when someone says something you don't like, and you are at a place where you're not supposed to lash out, like a work. Someone says something wrong to you at work, and you can't control that anger that this person caused you. How can you control anything else? It starts with your own mind, wanting a change for yourself, for better of yourself. If you can change yourself, you can be anything you want. That's why I'm big on thoughts, on mindfulness, on words. Your tongue is a double-edged sword. So be careful what you speak into this realm, world, universe. Be careful who you share things with. Be mindful who you give your energy, space, time, your body. We have to be more aware of our own selves, of our own existence. Otherwise, you're going to fall for anything. You're going to be lost. And you're going to go through this life 50, 60 years later and not knowing what the heck, where did the years go? What did I even do with my life? Kind of like when you had a job that you get paying like $2,000 a week or $1,000 a week. I had so much money, man. I don't know what I did. You have nothing to show for it because you were just depending on going to work and getting that 1,000 every Friday. And you were not mindful of how you were spending that money because in your mind, I'm gonna go to work all week anyways. You wasted thousands of dollars every week. And you have nothing to show for it. On what? What did you spend it on? The clothes you buy, you don't even know where they're at. The food you ate, you been pooped that out. You know what I mean? Like you waste what you do not, what's the word? You waste what you don't consider. Is that a thing? I have to find a word for that one day. Well, soon. But Thoughts and Rhythm, it's about self-expression in a free space without worry of judgment, because I don't even know how many people are watching me right now, but I'm not worried about the number. I'm not worried about what y'all thinking as far as like negative. Like, just, I don't care if I'm viewed as a crazy person, someone who don't really know what they're talking about, because at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day and at the end of my days, I know exactly who I am, and you or no one else can tell me any different, because I am what I believe myself to be, what I show up as everywhere, on social media, in person. I'm always authentic to my own self. I feel like that's the only sin that truly counts. When you sin against self, when you do things that really don't resonate with you because you're afraid of what the external is going to say or think about you. When you do things that you really don't want to do to please someone else, that's a sin. And that's a sin that no one talks about, because everything is so physical nowadays. Everything is so external nowadays. No one really knows who they are. And that's what my channel is for. My channel is to aid in self-discovery, because as someone who was lost all up to the point where I was maybe 23, and I'm only 26, so I was literally lost my entire life into about 2-3 years ago, because that's when I started to change. I chose change, so I received change. I wanted better for myself, therefore I made better for myself. No matter what my household had going on, no matter what the school was saying, no matter what the military was doing, I chose myself at the end of the day, and that's why I'm here now, talking freely. I would never imagine myself doing what I'm doing right now. But this is who I am. This is who I want to be, right? This is who I decided to be. This is who I choose. And I choose to speak my mind freely in whatever way I desire. So, if you're watching this, my only goal today is for you to sit with yourself, even for 5-10 minutes today, and ask yourself who you really are. Ask yourself, what do you want out of life? Choose 3 things. Really wrote it down. That's how I did it. I got a journal. I wrote a question, what do I want? And I put bullet points all the way down until I discovered what I wanted, until I said what I wanted. And then I got 3 highlighters, and if a bullet related to the other one, I just marked it with one color. And next thing you know, I had 3 different colors, and then I just broke them down. What does each describe? Freedom, or success in my business, or just something, right? I related it to one thing, one word. And then I said, what do I have to make this happen? And my first thing that I wrote down, you know what it was? It was determination. Determination to make it happen. The second thing was the will and ability to do so. And the burning desire to achieve a goal. That is all you need. If you have the will, you have a way. So once you write the thing down, find out how you're going to do it, and do it. Execute. And don't give up. Don't stop when it gets hard. Don't stop when you feel discouraged. Don't stop. Because I was reading Think and Grow Rich the other day, and it said that, I wish I remember that guy's name, but he was basically 3 feet away from finding the gems in the mine, and he gave up because he couldn't find it. But he was literally 3 feet away. He gave up when it seemed confusing. He gave up when he was literally right on it. So sometimes when things seems confusing and it seems like you really don't know where you're going, or it seems like everything is falling apart, they're actually falling into place. And I've learned this through numerous of experiences. When you feel like nothing is happening, you're like, well, dang, I've been doing this, and it's like, I don't see nothing. I don't see a difference. Like, nothing is happening. You showing up every day, it's already something happening. You thinking about that and speaking about that, it's something happening. Even when you feel nothing is happening, something is always happening. Even if you laying in the bed, the world is still moving. Something is happening even when you feel like nothing is happening. I feel really blessed to be able to finally capture all of my flowing thoughts, like on camera, like, and share it. Not just capture it, but to share it. Usually I'll be like, man, I wish I had a camera around. This was such a great message. But I give myself good messages, you know, and then I'm like, I know one day I'm gonna be sharing this with the world, and here I am today, the beginning of it. I didn't even plan on doing this today. Like I said, I came here to make one 3-minute short. And then last night came back to my mind like, hey, thoughts in rhythm, huh? And I was like, what about thoughts in rhythm? Turn your live on. And I said, turn my live on. This is me conversating with myself. Turn my live on. Yeah, turn your live on. This is episode 1. I'm like, on live? Okay. Back to like I said earlier, I've never seen a podcast that is live ever. Usually they are structured, they look nice, like everyone's set up, they bring speakers, they do it this way, and boom, boom, boom. It's like structured. But mine's, especially with the title, Thoughts in Rhythm. Thoughts that are flowing in rhythm. That means I'm sharing my thoughts as they come to me. That's the structure y'all are receiving. The flow of my thoughts. Thoughts in rhythm, man. I'm kind of like a genius if you ask me. I don't know. But I feel very, very, very appreciated with the universe, with God, with Source, whatever you identify Source to be, for allowing me this time to express myself and share my mind like I've always wanted. Like I am living in my own dream right now, which I'm also super proud and blessed to do. If you tuned in today, I want to say thank you so much. I hope that this has reached you and ignite something in you to make a change for yourself. Not for no one else, but for yourself. Even just talk to yourself more. Even if it's just to come out in nature and just talk, right? When you feel like sometimes we want to like have a journal and share things with people, but we just don't know how to say them to yourself. Come outside to a park, go on a walk, and say them to the universe. Start there. And through that method, through that means, you will receive other opportunities to do it in a way that works for you. That's just like an initiation. I feel really happy, very joyful, and I just want to share that with y'all. And thank you for tuning into episode 1 of Thoughts and Rhythm. This is the end of my life, and I will catch you on my next one, and whenever that time comes for me to share again. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do so. If not, you can just scroll and look at my shorts and see what I'm really about. And I would love to hear your feedback, and I would love to build a community over time that, that's strong, that holds, and that just wants to push each other to be and do better and to discover ourselves in past the surface, past the physical. And I would love for a community to be minded, because that's the only way you can really receive the blessings of the universe and of God. Remember, thoughts are things. Thoughts are powerful things. So if you do not desire something, don't give it so much thought. Otherwise, that's all you're gonna see. That's all you're gonna attract. And eventually that's what you're gonna be. Exactly what you don't want to be. Because it's all you think about. So create your life through thoughts. And every time a negative or a bad thought comes to your mind, extinguish it with 20 positive ones. Think about things that make you feel good, things that you want instead, things that you'd rather have, places you'd rather be. And start there. Start training your mind to literally kick negative thoughts out of itself. And then positive thoughts are just going to be second nature. You don't have to think about positive thoughts for them to be positive. Like, they're just yours. I will say that it's not going to be easy. I will say that it's a work in progress. I will say you have to do it every single time. And I will say it gets exhausting, but I will say it's worth it. And then there's nothing I would choose to do than to be able to be in control of my own mind and my own thoughts. For I am the creator of my own reality and my own life and my own existence. With the aid of Source, of course. Okay, bye.